Hi, my name is Jennifer, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing the Booktube Numbers Tag. I was only tagged in this last week by Alice and the Giant Bookshelf. I'll link Alice's channel down below. I don't normally get to tags this quickly, but this one's quite an easy one to plan for, so I thought I'd do it today. The original tag was created by Jim over at Jim's Books, Reading and Stuff. Question 1 is, what was your first Booktube video? So my first video was a second-hand book haul. And I think I did that first because it was quite an easy one to film, and then I followed that up quite soon after with the Booktube newbie tag. Question 2 is, how many books are you currently reading? So I finished a book earlier on today, so at the moment I have 2 other books on the go. So Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson. I have about 50 pages left on this one. And I'm also reading a short story collection called The Seeds of Time by John Wyndham, and I've read the first 2 stories in that one. Question 3 is, what were the top 3 books you read last year? So A Passage North by Anouk Arud-Pragasa, which was shortlisted for last year's Booker Prize. Affinity by Sarah Waters, which was a reread and one of my favourite books ever. And my favourite book that I read last year was The Death of Viva Goji by Akwaeke Umezi. Question 4, how many books did you read last year? So according to Storygraph, I read 193 books last year. If we're going to be pedantic about it, there is another book that I read last year which doesn't exist as a real book. So my library ran a creative writing course in summer of 2020, and they invited the participants on the course to submit a short story, and then they collated the short stories into a book, and that book is only available in the library catalogues. It's not a book that you can buy. So I read that book, but I can't put it on Storygraph because it doesn't really exist as a book in the real world. And then I think there was another book as well, which, because I moved from Goodreads to Storygraph partway through last year, and I'm pretty sure when I moved the numbers didn't match up and there was a book missing, but I could never be bothered figuring out what book it was. So somewhere between 193 to 195 books I think I read last year, which is a lot of books, and I'm almost certainly never going to read that many books in a year again. But that was because we were like in and out of lockdown last year. So question 5 is, how many books have you rated as 5 stars this year? So far I've only rated 1 book as 5 stars, and that was Detransition Baby by Tori Peters. I have had one 4.5 star book, which was Morris by Ian Forster. Hopefully I'll have some more 5 stars soon, because that seems very few for where we are in the year. Question 6 is, do you have a reading target for this year, and are you on track? So I don't have a numerical reading target. In previous years, I don't think I did last year either, but in previous years I did have a numerical reading target, only really because Goodreads told me to set a number of books that I wanted to read. I don't do that anymore, just because for me personally I don't think it does anything for me. So my reading goals for this year are not to do with the number of books that I read. I do have some goals around the types of books that I want to do some more rereading. I want to read more classics, and I want to make time for reading more longer books. And am I on track? I mean, somewhat. I did quite good in January with those goals, and then I think I've kind of gone off the boil a little bit. But I think I will do a quarterly check-in on my reading goals. I'll do that at the end of the month. So question 7, how many pages long is the book that you're reading now? These are both quite short. So Housekeeping is 219 pages. I should try not to read the end of the book. And then this short story collection is 214 pages. Very similar in length. And I'll start another book today as well. One of these library books. There's a big pile of library books over there as well. How long are your videos? I think my videos generally are between sort of 10 to 20 minutes-ish. Wrap-ups are usually around half an hour. They're normally a bit longer for obvious reasons, because there's a lot of books to talk about. Do you have a favourite number? No, I don't really have a favourite number or a lucky number. And then the final question is, do you have a book on your shelves with a number in the title or on the cover? So I have got a few here, which I will show you. So the first one that sprang to mind was 1984 by George Orwell, which is one of my favourite books ever. Then we have No One is talking about this by Patricia Lockwood. The Village of Eight Graves by Seishi Yokomizo. This is a Japanese crime novel which I have not read yet. We have The 13th Tale by Diana Setterfield. And another crime novel, The Fourth Side of the Triangle by Ella Reid Queen. I haven't read this one yet either. I know I have a copy of Dublin 4 by Maeve Binchy somewhere, but I couldn't see it on the shelves, and there are probably more books knocking around numbers in the title somewhere. So that's all the questions. I'm going to tag a couple of people who I don't think I've seen do this. I'm going to tag Nikki at Red Dot Reads and also Leah Bancroft. I'll link everyone's channel down below. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll speak to you again very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.